Okay folks, welcome back. We're doing another real restoration on a 1960s Scottie 66. As you can see right here, it says 66 Zebco Scottie. Now, it's a 1960s. Not too sure when it was made, but the way to get these covers off, I found it was kind of difficult. There's a little notch right here on the frame that literally you have to lift up on this little bar right here in order to get this off. You have to lift it up like that and pull that side off. And then on this side here, it also has that little notch right here that goes on that side when you return the reel, and you have to pull up on that cover holder and lift that off as well. You have to lift up on it. I kind of cheated and took them off early, and I put a little bit of oil on the drag just to get it unseized so I can, get it to see if it worked properly, and it does work properly. But for this job, if you want to take this reel apart to clean it for servicing, you basically want to take off the spinner cone by holding the handle crank down like so, and the spinner cone comes right off like that, and right here the spool just comes right out, and that's basically all you got to do. And you'll need a size 10 wrench, well actually a size 8 wrench, to take off the handle nut screw. And once you take that off, if I can get it off. Now sometimes these handles don't want to come off, so you could bang them out basically. There it goes. Sometimes you can just bang them out and they'll come straight out. Once you do that, you can remove, I believe at this point you can remove the pinion gear, but it doesn't look like there's a way to remove it. It looks like you may have to remove something here. I'm not too sure. Okay, there it comes. And the stupid little spring shot out. And now once you remove that, you can remove your wheel gear. Once you remove that out of here, okay, once you got all them parts out, we're going to put it in a bath and bathe the parts. We're going to scrub down the body, the pinion gear, and the little brake bar, and this, and the covers, and some cleaning solution, and get back to you with either wire brush or a toothbrush. Okay, we got all the parts cleaned with some pin reel cleaner. We cleaned off the helix wheel gear. We found the other piece of the pinion gear. We cleaned it. We cleaned the inside of the spinner cone as well, and the pickup pin. Works really well. Spray it out with that either WD-40, 409, whatever you want to use. But if you're using 409, you're going to have to rinse these parts out in water. But if you're using like a reel cleaner, like a WD-40 or pen reel oil cleaner, you don't have to rinse them out. You just have to wipe everything out after you get done. We also cleaned the covers right here. Put a little bit of oil in these handle cranks too as well, so it has some oil in there to keep it from squeaking in the handle crank. Right here we cleaned the front of the body of the reel with a toothbrush, and we stuck a little bit of oil on that penetrating oil right here on the drag. All you gotta do is put a little bit of oil right there on the drag itself, around the drag, and we're gonna put a little bit of oil right here on the bait clicker anti-reverse mechanism on the 66 Scottie, and put some on here on the front of the reel, just a little bit, don't take much, and put a little bit there and a little bit down the hole here. That's about all I'm going to do. Okay, now that that's oiled, we're going to re-grease. We're going to use some red and tacky Lucas grease to grease these parts here. Basically the last thing you take out is what the first thing you put back in the reel. Put some grease on this gear wheel here, basically. And once we do that, I think we got a little bit too much on here, as usual. Take some of the excess off, and then whatever excess you got left on your fingers, very little. You don't want too much on the back of that wheel gear. You just want a little bit. Put a little bit of oil right there on that as well, and mix that in there really good, and return the wheel gear back into place right here. into place. It should go in there, which it did. And now we're going to grease the pinion gear, just the front of it. Keeps getting these little hairs on there. I don't get how that happens, but. And we're going to grease the gears parts of it, just the gear part of it. And that's basically all the oil and grease you want to put on that. You don't really need that much. Just work it in them teeth and put this back into place like this. Put a little bit of oil on this here. Push this back in. Get it all nice and oily through there. And the tricky part is going to be to get this back in place and not have this thing shoot out everywhere. And I think we might have it. I don't know. Get a pair of needle nose pliers to kind of jiggle it into place here to get it back in there, and there it goes. It goes right in there just with a little bit of jiggling, and you're good to go. And once you do that, you could return the handle crank back in. Should go in easier because all the corrosion is gone off of it now. And now you get that in there. Put the screw back in place like so. Once you do that, you use a size 8 wrench to tighten it up. Okay, you tighten that wrench. You winch the handle back up and test it to see if it's working right. It seems to be working right. And once you do that, you can hold that gear into place like so. And I forgot that this stupid little thing has to go underneath the wheel somehow. Goes in there like that. See, I screwed up, and now I fixed it. Now that that's done, stick the spool back on. Now it goes back in. There's a trick to it to get it back in, but once we get that back in, we could hopefully we're gonna grease this here and oil this real quick. Some oil behind the pinion gear here, and put a little bit of grease in here. Ooh, too much grease. We're gonna put some grease in here as well, all over the cams and everything here, so it's got a nice greasy, you know, just a little bit of oil and grease back there will do a lot. Okay, that's on there. Now we could put the spinner cone back on, and then once we get the spinner cone back on, we can replace the Scottie's frames. Okay, we got the front frame on. It just snaps into place. We get the back frame on, and it should snap into place. Ugh. There it goes. It finally snapped back into place, and now we got the frame back on. And let's see how the clicking feature works. There it goes. That's the bait runner. That's also an anti-reverse, and all the way into. Oh, there you go. That's how you service a 1960s, maybe 1950s Scottie 66. If you like this video, please hit the like, share, and subscribe. And tell me what you think about this video. And you know what you can do. You put God first. He puts you first every time. And you know what else, YouTube? God loves you. On another Zebco, old Zebco real service video. Peace out, YouTube.
Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face. Tell me that you love me, even if it's fake.